We're here to talk about the most important guitars you have never heard about. There's only two of them we're going to talk about. One electric and one acoustic. We all know the Fender Stratocaster. We all know the Gibson Les Paul.
It's true.
We all know the Martin D28, and we all know these glorious things, but there are guitars that have been sort of lost to the history bins that gave us so much of what we know and love today. You ready, Johnny boy?
Unsung heroes.
Ooh, the unsung heroes. Sean has a few words for you right now.
This is the first pedal upon the pedal board that you could win if you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to leave a nice comment. And help us get to 80,000 subscribers. This is the Geriatric Chihuahua by Marla Amplification.
Soon to be hand-painted by Sean's lovely bride, Skylar Simmons Diesfeld III.
It's pretty dope, ain't it?
Be fun, be creative, leave good comments. We pick them out of a fishbowl, and you can win this. More pedals coming soon.
That's right,
Stay
baby.
tuned. Well, let's just get right into it and start with what we consider a very important electric guitar that is fun to look up and sort of see the history of this little girl. This is the Slingerland Songster.
What?
You probably don't know what the Slingerland Songster. What a fun guitar. So this is the first wooden solid body electric guitar. Built in the 1930s. I like to imagine the what ifs. Now it has, the what ifs is what I'm talking about. What if this guitar became really popular? You would have had the revolution of electric guitar making started almost 15 years prior to Leo Fender's Telecaster.
Weird.
Kind of weird, right? Like pre-World War II.
God, that's crazy to think
Yeah.
about. How do you think, I mean, I imagine, this is just crazy what if talk now. Like music would have been different, right? Like what we think of as rock and roll probably develops a little bit differently.
Maybe because it would have taken the roots of what was happening then. Like, would there have been an Elvis in the same way? Maybe, I mean, he's taking the rhythm and blues of African-American culture. Who knows? Who knows? It's, well, let's talk about the guitar a little bit more. So it's got a strange looking pickup. This is not a normal pickup. It's a cutting edge.
Cutting edge.
six coil humbucking pickup. In it, and that was brand new. You know, so you have humbucking pickups right here. This is not, you know, the land of the archtops has already happened, but it looks like a Hofner kind of.
Yeah, in a weird.
It's a weird looking guitar with a
little
real
violinish.
You know, with all the routing that had to be done, like that ugly sort of pick guard that sits right on top of the center. It's strange. Like there's no like sort of sensual shape to it. Even the Telecaster's sort of gross, like paddleboard type of like, you know, vibe to it, and later the Strat, but this is just like boom, plugged on top of it. It's crazy. This guitar sets up the first potential for mass-produced solid body electric guitars with the pickup systems that we know today. And no one knows this guitar. It's kind of wild, right?
It is kind of wild.
Like, I mean, you've never played one, right?
I've never played one or seen one in person, or
no.
I mean, I can't imagine there's many. Right? I know it says they're mass-produced.
There's some on the internet for sale right now.
For how much?
Not that much, like under $5,000, I believe, which is kind of crazy. I mean, they're not sought after in the. Let's be realistic. They're not great guitars.
They're sort of lost to the footnotes of it. You know, everybody's like the telly, the broadcaster, or whatever.
No, but they set us up for, like, you know, that's where all these great innovators that come later, you know, from the folks at Gibson and the folks at Fender and all the other folks that were making guitars, like, oh, we can do this at an economic price range that's going to make sense.
Right.
You know, so it's cool that this happened, and again, as you said, forgotten to the footnotes of history.
Well, you know that a guy like Leo Fender or Les Paul or Paul Bigsby, those guys are kind of all having their weird little round table discussions around, you know, a little later than that. But you know they're aware of these things happening and who's trying what and who did. Because guys like that, I feel like they're paying attention to what's out there, right? So
a lot harder too back then, though.
Yeah.
There is no World Wide Web. It's like you only pay attention if you see it, or if you see it in a trade catalog.
I was gonna say you'd have to be doing your research. You know, pull out your phone.
Or if you see a player like show up on, whoa, what is that?
What is
like
that
we've
thing?
never seen that. No, because we had a Telecaster show up from the custom shop just the other day, and like someone's like, I think it's broken. I'm like, That's unfortunately the vintage tone circuit in that guitar. That's why it sounds broken. That's just what Leo and the gang were doing.
Thump, 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 thump.
The Telecaster was the first electric bass. A lot
Play
of folks
bass.
don't know that.
It's true.
The P bass didn't come out until later, and the Telecaster player was the bass player. All these innovations happened, but imagine again, like it's almost that steampunk idea of like if this would have happened 15 years before. But then who knows? Like, you know, with World War II around the bend, what the electric guitar is being used for is this was being more in like a jazz backing to like sort of fit against the archtop styles of guitars. So that's our choice for the electric guitar, the Slingerland Songster.
Not just a drum company. I'm assuming it's the same Slingerland, right? Yeah, I would think. I don't know. Someone check. Someone tell me in the comments.
Next, the acoustic guitar. Jonathan, give us the Italian word.
The Maccaferri.
I like
Maccaferri.
I like the Maccaferri. Get a little more Hamlet in there.
Maccaferri or Selmer is the one I've heard more, which apparently is the same. Same folks. They're working together.
This guitar is often considered one of the more important acoustic element guitars for revolutionizing what we have as modern acoustic players today.
Yeah.
Now, we all love the Ds and all the Martin stuff, that obviously, but we know about that.
Right.
We know about that. Now, what's the innovations of this thing? You've got what? The D hole and the O hole sound holes.
It just sounds kind of wrong when you...
Sorry if there's any children nearby. There's also internal resonation inside.
Which is really cool.
To give a little more volume. The bracing pattern is sort of leading to what we have today. But here's a big one. It's the first cutaways. You know, tail guitars wouldn't know what to do without this guitar, you know, being in existence.
Django's up there ripping solos.
I know, with his little missing fingers and everything. And
He
his
didn't need
cigarette.
them.
I'm
He
so
did
good, I
not
don't need
them.
it.
This is true. Imagine if he had all his fingers. It'd be absurd.
And then what's the final bit that's a big part of this?
The laminated arched back. Pioneer technique still being used in acoustic guitar building today, which is kind of wild when you think about it.
No, like the 335s too. We look at
Yeah.
that, just not just acoustic, but also electric guitars. So this is a huge part that has been taken and borrowed and put into every aspect of guitar making we know today.
Right. And I mean, what's funny is these things are sort of happening around the same time, both guitars we're talking about, which it just shows you that there's a lot more leading up to what we consider the crazy innovation. We all think of
Fender and
1950,
Gibson.
right? But there's guys working on it and having major breakthroughs 20 years before that, really.
No, and again, I like to think of the what ifs if these would have come out, these technological leaps today, how fast it would be adopted into playing.
Yeah.
Because you see like the Taylor's new neck design system, that's been used. There's similar ideas that have been tried in other manufacturers,
Right.
but it's the first time like in a really mass scale of a great guitar company like that. I would like to see that get picked up by more. I don't want to see it like the SC13E like in Martin though. That's a little.
We just had some experience with them, and they're cool.
They're really cool, but that neck system, it's hard to work on. You got to have the tools.
You got to have the tools, and you got to know a little bit what you're actually
It's
doing.
cool. You don't have to get any neck resets, but you also got to have the $150 tool set, or
Taylor made it sort of dummy proof. They're like, oh, okay, you can't
guys
mess
like
this up.
you and me can do this. We like that.
Which is great. So
No, so between these two great guitar manufacturers, like we have reaped the benefits. Like us as players say, like with you look at the acoustic alone, we have louder acoustics. They had to be built to compete with bands.
yeah,
Like horn instruments, and like was why these are being created. But then we take some of those modern innovations too, and we put that into what we're doing in our bluegrass competing fields too.
That's true.
Obviously we all know about the D and the Martin, but that's why we don't need to do that video. Everybody knows about that.
everybody knows. I would like to try one of these. I've never played one of these. You probably have.
I have. They're cool. They're weird, and like you know who has some of this stuff is Jerry down at Sims.
Nope. I saw one at Sims when I was there a couple weeks ago.
Jerry is the.
I should have played it, and I got all caught up in,
talking about electric
talking about
stuff.
ridiculous stuff. Yeah.
He's the patriarch of Sims music down in Columbia, South Carolina. If you haven't been there, you need to check it out. It's one of our favorite music shops in the country, not just the Southeast. But go check that place out, and he's a jazz archtop player. He's awesome. He's crazy. I remember him having a heart attack one year and then being at NAMM like 2 weeks later. I'm like, what is wrong with you? He's like, I just love music and jazz. He has a cigarette in his mouth at the same time. He's like what a cool guy. Justin's trying to learn from him a little bit, but
Justin's pretty awesome.
Justin's pretty cool, but he plays drums.
He plays drums.
Yeah, so
that was
that's
the other thing too. Is my
those are points
my
against
old
him.
derelict son and his drum habit now.
know.
Drugged me into the drum
That's like
section.
having like
Didn't let
a
me leave.
10-year-old smoker. You know,
It's a lot like that.
It's like
Yeah.
it's just weird. So no, like let us know if you have played any of these guitars, your thoughts, and if we are crazy or right. But we think those are great. We thought about the log as one of the electric guitars too. That's a big deal, obviously.
But not mass produced and kind of like an experiment. And I also feel like everyone who messes with guitars knows the sort of lore of that. So
And if you don't, like we just introduced it a little bit, go look it up. There's some great
check it
videos
out.
on it. Some great there's Wikipedia too, but that's kind of boring.
Meh.
Watch the video. It's such a cool history of guitar. It's fun how they all help and push the industry forward together. And like, if believe it or not, some of these manufacturers actually help each other out sometimes, and sometimes they don't. So it's fun to watch how that works in cycles. So again, click like, subscribe.
Hit the bell.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Baxter.
I'm Jonathan.
We're Casino Guitars. It's kind of cool, right? We'll see you guys tomorrow, or tonight, or in your dreams. Gross.